Ouma, kyk, ek sit 'n skouboel.
Tussen kussings raak die wêreld saak.
Hi, my name is Tarryn Light and I'm going to be on Tussen Kussings, so you better tune in because I am a performer, a singer, an actress.
De begin bloei soos nagblomme.
And we're back.
Okay. Hi, Tarryn.
Hi.
We'll just pretend like this is the first time we're doing this.
Yes, definitely. This is the first time that this has happened.
This is the most fabulous guest I think we've had on the show. Not like just with the costumes and the. I think this is going to be a cool episode. But
yeah, we can have fun.
we're here at 1933, one of your homes, where you spend quite a lot of time.
Yes, my home away from home. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm here to ask you about where does Tarryn Light come from? Where did it all start for you?
So, when I was in primary school, I think that's when it all kind of clicked in. I was in the choir. I used to go to Summerwood, and I was in Hundley's choir back then. Shout out Mrs. Ace. And I sang and I did a lot of choir trips and everything. But when I was in grade 7, we had a little Pop Idols event, because remember, like, Idols was the thing back then.
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
And then South Africa had its own one, and then it was like all the rage. So we had our first like school Pop Idols, and I think I was in grade 7, and I won.
Oh wow!
And I think like
wow,
at that moment, like it all kind of sunk in. But I mean, from a young age, I mean, I was obsessed with Grease. I mean, I still recorded it on my VHS and watched it over and over and over and over again because it came on Mnet Open Time or whatever.
Yes.
And I mean, Les Mis, they had a live performance of Les Mis on Mnet as well. And I would just like record all of these musicals and I would watch them like over and over again. I think we did one musical in primary school. It was The Castaways, and I was very upset that I didn't get a lead role. I was so upset. I was like, I am the best. Okay. And I think I really leaned into shows a lot more than like all the other kids were like really afraid to do things, where I was like really excited to do things on stage. So it just kind of came naturally. And then when I went to high school, I joined the singing group there while I was at Pearson, and then I'd never really done drama before. And then one of my friends was actually doing a class with Linda Louise Swain. And she was like, oh, you should come. It's so much fun. Yeah. And then I just kind of went once and I never left. And the rest is kind of history after that.
Yeah, shout out to Linda Louise Swain.
Shout out to Linda. She's I am who I am because of her. And then I did music as a subject. I did music, art and accounting. But drama was my like 8th subject. I got like full academic colours, I think some people call it, but we called it honours at Pearson. Whatever that full thing. Yeah. I got it for singing. I was doing pretty well in singing. I did all my grading then through Trinity College London. We did the rock school courses. I was in the singing group. I toured. I was in like all the shows. I started getting leads. I mean, I was lead in my 2 of the musicals we did. I think Pearson at that point hadn't done a musical in like a decade. And then we kind of started it up again, my singing teacher and I. And we did like a jazz musical based on Robbie Williams's Swing When You're Winning album, which was quite fun, which I played the lead in. And then later on, when I was in matric, we did Little Shop of Horrors. Okay. And I think by that point, it had solidified that this is what I was going to do. Yes. And I think even at that point, like my teachers were like, you have to go study. You have to study drama. Of course, you're going to study drama. So it was like one thing after the next. And then I applied, I went to audition, and I got in at the University of Pretoria. And I did it in 3 years, which is, it's really difficult. They don't actually offer the 3-year degree anymore. It's now a 4-year, like compulsory 4-year degree. Yeah. I think they realized it was too intense for most people to do in 3 years. But yes, I was very proud. Like I said, we were like 150 who started and like 30, 40 that finished. And then after that, I kind of was trying to figure out like, what am I going to do now? Because now, okay, I've got my degree, and the wonderful thing about a drama degree is it's not like you can walk into a job and go, hey, this is my job. So I freelanced for a bit. I did the age-old thing that all performers do: is you waiter, you bartend, you do all the wonderful service industry jobs. That's around about the point where I went to Dubai, just to pay off student debts, loans, all those wonderful things. And then it was around about that time that I fell pregnant with my son. I moved back to South Africa. And yeah, it was a bit of a dark time because I had to go back into the corporate environment. I had to work a normal, stable job because, you know, you got to provide and you got to do all the things. And then after a little while, I met somebody and I moved back to PE. And I think that's where it started changing again, because they had auditions at the Savoy for Annie Get Your Gun.
Okay.
And I looked at it and I was like, oh, I would just love to do a musical again, or just something. And it was community theatre, and I was like, I just need to get back into it. I used to be singing all the time. I used to be dancing all the time. I mean, I have this degree. It'd be cool to be involved in a community theatre project. And yeah, that's when things really started to turn again for me, and I started to fall in love with theatre again. And I mean, everybody at the Savoy and that was on the committee at the time, Rose, Kalper, like everybody thinks she's my mother. They're like, are you Rose's daughter? But shout out to Impact, and now Impact Community Theatre. It used to be the Gilbert and Sullivan Society still at the time.
So that's where I met you.
Yes.
We did a show together there.
Yes.
I actually need to find those photos again where we did some.
Yes, we did a. I think it was Broadway and Beyond or something.
Yeah, we did Broadway and Beyond. It was like a very cabaret style show.
Yeah, review of all the musicals and stuff.
Yeah, and then right at the end we did Rocky Horror.
Yes.
Where you played Janet. Yes. And we did Time Warp.
Time Warp. Yes.
Yeah, you were Janet and I was Riff Raff, and yeah, I mean, I think that was rehearsing for that. I mean, that's where I got to know you a little bit more, because that was the first one that I actually worked with you. Yeah. And that's how I got to know you. So.
Yeah, my time at the Savoy was amazing. I spent about 5-6 years with the Savoy. It just from one show turned into another show, into another show. Then eventually I was on the committee, then eventually I was directing shows there. And it just, I cannot stress enough how important community theatre is for performers, especially to establish yourself, for people to know who you are, to practice your craft, to hone your craft without the stress of it being a professional production. The stuff that they do at Impact Community Theatre is amazing, what they do for kids, but also what they do for adults. And it was actually in Annie Get Your Gun is how I met Tara and Tuba from Centre Stage.
Yes.
And Tara had actually gave my name to Gary and Gino and them and told them that you need to chat to this girl. She's an amazing singer. So it was because of that show that it kind of led me on the professional path. I was eventually vice president at Gilbert and Sullivan for a few years. And I was directing. I directed, I think, 3 or 4 productions, Blast from the Past, Valentine's shows, a few things there. And I just became very integrated, myself and Jonathan, my son. They used to call him the GNS mascot, the Savoy mascot. He was at every single show. And my love for theatre and performing and everything grew again. I've started doing workshops again with kids. I started training people as well. And then I was asked eventually, a couple of years later, by Gary and them to come and do a show with them. And then I started touring with Centre Stage for a year or 2, and that was really, really amazing. And at that point, I had also started doing my own little cabarets on the side. Because a lot of the time in theatre, you're obviously typecasted into a role. So depending on how you look or your age or everything like that, that's what you're going to do. And I was like, but I want to do all the things. So I was like, well, why don't I just start doing my own little shows? And my friend at the time, her and I decided, you know, we want to do this. We need some extra money. Why not create some shows together of just what we want to do? And then I think our first one we sold out like 100 people.
But that's the importance of people in this industry, is if you don't create your own shows, you're not going to make money. Because if you're going to sit at home and wait for shows, it's not going to happen.
No.
You have to create your own shows.
And that is one of the most important things I think I can give to any aspiring performer is that it's not going to come to you.
Yeah.
You have to create it.
Yeah.
It was really amazing when I started out my little productions and my production company. Then we were doing very small and it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And what people forget is that when people start a production company, they're like, oh, this was wrong, that was wrong. And I'm like, yeah, it will be because they are learning. Like anybody else in a growing business, you're learning what works for your audience, what works for you, what works for your performers, and what your creative mark is going to be. And what you are going to say or do. I mean, it's really up to you. But it does take time.
Yeah.
And I think people think it's just overnight and then I'm doing 600 shows a week. No, it's not like that. It's hard work, it's fails, it's late nights. At the time I was still working full time and then being in the amateur theatre and then doing my shows and then doing centre stage shows. And eventually I was like, you know what? I need to expand. I need to find like a home venue. That was where my first idea came from. And I met up with you, Anita, from Old Grey. And she was the first ever venue to sit down and talk with me. And she was just so great. She was wonderful. And she let us come in and do our first ever like larger scale production was there at Old Grey. Yeah. And that came with its own challenges, but it was good. It's nice when somebody takes a chance on you.
Yeah. But that's what happened here.
Yeah, same thing here with 1933. Yes. I mean, this is my other home. I'm here every month. I'm like, Natasha, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
And on these dates, are you available? She's like, yes, this day, no, that day. I'm like, cool, blah, blah, blah. We work out a whole year, and this is where I am now. So, that's basically how the start-up of Tarryn Light Productions started. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of knocking on doors. It's a lot of, this is what I do. It's a lot of people want videos or people want to see your performance first or people want a reference. It is very tough in the beginning. But I'm grateful that I did do it because it helped me build these relationships with everyone. I mean, I wouldn't have met you if I wasn't at the Savoy going through that part, and I wouldn't have met Lesa either if I never did Shakespeare in the Park with her. Yes. So it's a beautiful journey, and it's wonderful to see how it kind of snowballs into where it is now.
So, Tarryn, ons het nou klaar gehoor, het jy en Zane theater gedoen. Ek dink dis hoe jy almal ontmoet in theater, want ons het Shakespeare in the Park saam gedoen.
Ja, dat was oh no wait, was that right before lockdown?
It was 7 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
7 years ago. It was just before lockdown. Ja, ek meen, dit was een van my grootste drome om in daai theater, open air, iets op te tree. En toe ontmoet ek hierdie crazy blonde meisie met haar seentjie wat daar rondhardloop en ek was net soos ons gaan besties wees.
Besties. The rest is history. We had the best time. Also, sy's baie goeie actor, actress.
Ek speel dom baie goed. Omtrent dit. Maar daar's baie wat ingegaan het. Ek meen van theater, van skool af, van Shakespeare doen en soos nou gesê het, toe raak jy, ek wil nie sê jy het verveeld geraak nie, maar jy het ambisieus geraak en gesê, ek gaan my eie ding doen. En toe stig jy Tarryn Light Productions. Maar jy was nie soos hierdie gaan 'n fly by night ding wees nie. Jy is soos hierdie is 'n legit besigheid. So wat het daai gedryf op die ou end om jou te motiveer om aan te hou? Jy weet baie mense begin dit en dan gee hulle op, maar ek voel asof jy net groter en groter gaan.
A lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of things have happened since then. Like I said, when I met you, it was right before lockdown, but then lockdown. So what happened was I actually resigned from the company that I was working at to fully pursue my company in 2019. And then, as you know, in 2020, lockdown happened. It was probably one of that was like the second phase of darkness that happened for me. I could gesukkel. I went through a big depression and everything. I actually was very lucky to have very close friends like you and a couple of other people that were there for me through that. But I realized in that time that if I don't do this, I will not survive. I knew that it's funny when everything just gets taken away from you and you just have nothing, and you really just need to rethink about what's going to happen and what's going to work in your life. Lockdown really made me realize if I don't do this, I can't do this. And I think it has a lot to do with my brain. I have, ADHD and all these wonderful things. And the normal life path was never going to be for me. And I was like, you know what, no matter how hard this is going to be, no matter if I have to work 2 jobs, I'll do this and I'll have another job just to pay into the company for as long as possible. I'm going to make it work. Because I think being happy and doing what you love is also really important. And you just have to make your mind up about it. I started working for another corporate company just to make sure that I could pay all the bills. And a lot of my money I put back into the business, did another show. It might not have been successful. I might have lost money, but I would consistently put money back into the shows. Let's try this, let's try that. Let's invest in costumes, let's invest in equipment, let's try something else. Let's now invest in marketing, and it just grew from there. And I, for 5 years after lockdown, just consistently reinvested money back into the business until, I got to the point and I said, even to my manager where I was working, they all knew that I had, because I'm a very open person. I was like, I'm doing this, and I got the work in lockdown because I had to. But just so you know, I do have my own business. And I said, one day I'm going to have a conversation with you, and that's going to be, I'm either going to stay with you or I'm going to completely leave. And I think it was December 2024. I said to my manager, I'm like, I need to have a meeting with you. And she's like, oh my gosh, is this the day? And I said, yes, it is. But it was the day that everybody cheered me on.
Yes.
And I think it's right when everyone's supporting you and is by your side. I did work 20-hour days at some point. I did, I hardly had any sleep. At one point hardly saw my children because I was working and then working after the work. And then sometimes, because I was working night shift, would stay awake after my night shift at 5 a.m., do some admin till 8, go to a meeting at 8:30, 9, another meeting at 9:30 to 10 or whatever, and then fetch the kids from school, quickly take a nap, and then go back to night shift work again. It was very hectic. But I think if you have a goal in mind, and if you put your mind to it, you can make anything work. And a lot of things happened in that time with the business.
A lot. Ek onthou in daai tyd hoe driven jy was, want ek het weet werk backstage saam met jou en gee hand waar ek kan, en dan hier ons soos 'n smoke machine, en dan kos dit ons sê maar soveel bedrag om te doen, en dan teen die einde van die vertoning dan ons gaan nooit weer 'n smoke machine hier nie, ons gaan een koop, en dan en dan koop ons dan. So, en dit's elke keer wat ons gesê het, hierdie gaan dit beter maak en hierdie gaan ons koste spaar in the long run, want jy het altyd jy het nooit gedink hierdie is die show en dis wat ons nou doen nie, en ek dink dis wat ek waardeer van jou is, jy dink altyd met 5 years from now plan in jou kop, en ek dink dis wat dit so gedrewe maak.
Buy once, buy right.
Nee, ja, altyd. Dit en stop leaning.
Ja. Or lean more, lean.
Maar dit is so lekker om saam met jou te werk op die verhoog, agter die verhoog, langs die verhoog. Maak nie saak hoe jy dit doen nie, jy's altyd so passief en so professioneel. En ek dink wat mense altyd verbaas is hoe diverse jy is, want ek het vriende wat jou leer ken het met melodrama, wat jy na 10 jaar teruggebring het baie toe, en dan het ek vriende wat jou ken van corporates af, en hulle sê, dit kan nie dieselfde meisie wees nie.
Ja. Dis die waarheid, because I think I play a chameleon a lot, but when you do have your own business, a lot of people don't realize how involved you are, and I still think one of the performers that came to me, I asked her to come on to a show last minute because somebody was feeling sick or something like that, just in case. And afterwards she's like, Tarryn, I didn't know you were such a boss.
Ja.
And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize. There's the production element, there's the rehearsal elements, there's the marketing elements, there's the financial elements, there's obviously the people element, and there's a lot going on. But I definitely think over time, I tried to save as much costs as I could, because what I feel my purpose, and I think I've slowly started discovering it more and more with Tarryn Light Productions. I think you start to wonder why you're here and what your mark you're going to leave on the earth is. And mine is to really, really just have people, artists are probably some of the most used people on the planet. You always hear suffer for your art and this and this and that. And I think
you don't have to.
Why are we suffering for our art? We should be paid for our art. We work hard. We've worked years. I mean, I've got a degree. I've been doing this since I was like 10 years old. I think I've got enough experience, And a lot of people are used, abused, not paid properly. And so I, in my productions, would cut as much costs as I could so that I could give back more to the performers or to my community, depending on what the project is.
Yes.
And that's really my goal, is to create work for artists that get paid properly.
Maar dit is met alles wat jy aanvat, dit is nie net theaterspelle nie, ek meen jy het nou, en ek wil sê, dit is mense het jou talent gesien van 'n besigheidsaspek af en gegaan, wil jy betrokke raak? En een van die groot goed is Connect, Geekon. Jy begin daar as 'n volunteer en nou is dit Tarryn Light Productions presents Connect Geekon. It's letterlik nou 100% joune.
Yeah, that was a very interesting thing as well, because not only do I love to dress up for theatre, but I love to cosplay, I love anime, I love gaming, and all the popular culture things. And then finding myself meeting the people that were running it at the time, she was at a point where she couldn't anymore, and she was looking for someone to take over that would respect, where they've come from and where they're going. And it basically was handed to me. She was just like, I believe in you.
Yeah.
You are the person who's going to keep this and make it grow. And that was a big deal, because that's a 4,000 people event. I mean, it's 2,000 people a day over a weekend. It's a lot of geeks. It's a lot of nerds. It's a lot of interesting characters that come out.
It's a lot of fun.
But it's so much fun, and it's good, clean, family fun, and everybody has a shared interest. And what I really love is that I get to take this thing that somebody has started and that the community has started, and I can create a larger than life event and a larger than life expo that you would normally have to travel to Joburg or Cape Town to go do. And I love, again, it's about community for me, that you don't have to drive to Cape Town now. You don't have to go to Joburg or wherever else these stalls are and these events are happening. I can now bring it to your doorstep for you. And I think that's great, because the community has grown so much. And, growing up, I was the uncool one because I watched anime and played games. I was the geek, and I was the theatre geek, and I was the one who did all the crazy things on stage. But now it's creating a safe space for like-minded people to not feel like geeks. Exactly. We're kind of reclaiming the word by calling it a geek convention, because it is cool. Yeah. I mean, people look at my sleeve and it's full of animation. And, it just, I remember that from when I was a kid, and it's just the nostalgia, the joy of collecting, the good, clean fun. And what we love to do as well is we're starting to expand tabletop gaming and stuff like that. So people are sitting, all ages, with their grandparents, their parents, and the kids are all sitting together, playing one game together. And I just think it's so great to get even just that interaction happening, and people that are socially awkward are no longer as socially awkward, because now they're both in cosplay and they maybe both like that same anime that they're both cosplaying, starts a conversation. And I just love to see how the community has grown and what it's also doing for our local businesses as well, which I believe in supporting as well.
Ek dink wat jy ook goed doen is jy lees wat die dorp nodig het. So 'n gesprek wat ons gehad het, ek dink amper 4 jaar terug, was ons het groot geword met melodrama. En dit was iets groot vir my. Ek onthou daai peanut gooi storie. It was so much fun. En ons het eendag 'n gesprek gehad en sê ons mis dit. En true to Tarryn style was jy soos, well, let's do it. En ek was soos, oh my word. Want wanneer jy ja sê, dan outomaties is ek maar in. Maar, en toe doen ons dit, en ek sê jy doen dit, ek was maar net daar om te help en peanuts te gaan haal.
She's underselling herself. She helps a lot. She helps a lot with melodrama.
Maar daai was groot geweest om melodrama terug te bring, iets wat vir 10 jaar nie in PE was nie. En nou is dit gaan op die 4de jaar nou. So dit raak net groter elke jaar, die venue verander, die neute raak meer, maar elke jaar is dit net lekkerder en lekkerder en nou om te sien hoe meer mense betrokke raak is pragtig.
Yeah, and I must say there are some repeat customers, which is always a good thing to see. Because melodrama is very controversial because it's an adult show, but the thing is it's made for us to let our hair down.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're raising money for charity. And I always say, I don't have lots of money, but I can at least raise some. So a lot of the people that come, they just said to me, Tarryn, the show gets better and better and better every year. It's a laugh. It's adult fun. You throw a peanut. You play drinking games with us. And it's just one night that you get to let your hair down. And if it's even for a corporate, like a group of, if you bring your company with, it's so much fun because immediately people are laughing, they're relaxing, they're letting their hair loose because it's not a strict environment. And I think every now and then we all just need a little time to let our hair down and the throwing of the peanuts and the having like a good laugh about silly, stupid things. It just really helps end the year off, and it's my favorite time of year as well because a lot of the people are volunteers on the stage. They've never performed in their life.
The best is when they've never done melodrama before, and then like I meet the cast and I go, oh, you're gonna love this.
The peanut to
Last
the face.
like rehearsal, we just throw nuts. But it is amazing, and it's 2 big events to look out for every year: melodrama and Connect.
Yeah, it is.
Use your mind and never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy. You can let it 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You wouldn't think that I deserve a fair promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I spend some time.
Ouma, kyk, ek sit 'n skoubol.
Ek vat dat skoubol. You look fabulous.
So I want to talk about the fact that I think a lot of people have a misconception about theatre and shows and all of that. You know, because a lot of people come to you, don't you just want to do it just for some exposure?
Yeah.
You go, exposure can't pay my Wi-Fi. But
Exposure also doesn't feed my children, so and I've got 2. So.
Yes. So obviously the cost of theatre and productions is quite high. From a sound and lighting aspect, I know how expensive it is because that's where my background lies. But tell us more about what people don't realize actually costs money.
Well, besides the fact that, you know, sound equipment itself, I mean, even if I'm doing small gigs, I've got like my 2 tops, which are speakers in layman's term, with your desk and a mic. I mean, my Shure microphone is 10,500 rand alone. But to be fair, I can run across a rugby field singing, so which is why I got it. But yeah, like you said, lighting and sound, I mean, you can go walk into any music shop today and just go figure out very quickly for yourself how expensive that is. But these are the things that people don't know about because it's not something you go and shop for every day. Number one, a lot of these things are imported because you can't get it locally. And if I can get something locally, it has to be made to order or by a designer, which we'll see a bit later. We've got a designer jacket will come up later. But yeah, it can cost anywhere between 2,500 rand per item or outfit, depending on what it is. If you're going for something like this, I mean, it automatically pushes up. This is called sequence, everyone. So sequence is one of the most expensive materials to buy, especially if it's a solid sequence, which is more like this one. Fun fact, this is my oldest dress. It's been in every Tarryn Light production since I started in 2018. and I actually got it second hand. So it had already been in about 50 to 100 shows. And since then, it's been in about 1,000 more, because I mean, this dress has been going since 2018. So this is my pride and joy. So if you see me on stage with this, just know it's my baby.
So one day, it's going to hang in a museum and go, Tarryn Light.
Yes, I'm going to probably frame it.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably frame it. It's going to happen. Behind me over here, okay, besides obviously you've seen that we've been wearing all these funky boots. These are all imported, and they cost at least 1,500 each.
And they in different colors. I mean, there's silver, there's gold, there's pink, there's blue. You've got them all in different colors.
So I mean, you just go already. That's 6,000 rand in shoes. Okay. So Tani,
and you bought them with exposure. Obviously.
Yes, I bought them with exposure.
Yeah.
That definitely paid. Then here is like the basics, which all the dancers and myself wear for like dance heavy shows. So these are what you call T-bars, and because these are actually they're normally made from leather as well, because they last longer, but also because of breathability, flexibility, and they are specifically designed not to hurt they arch your foot in a specific way that it doesn't hurt you while you're performing, and it's safe to wear obviously on stage. So these are your typical T-bars. This is a silver pair, which costs with more money. A typical T-bar, I'm talking about if you're going like all black, like here, you're looking at between 500 to 800 rand, and then how fancy they get, it goes up in price. So you could go anywhere again up to about 2,500 rand a shoe. These are tap shoes as well. They're also specifically designed, and I'm sure everybody knows what that does. That's a beautiful acoustic shoe. These are what we call jazz shoes. And you'll see these are very, very flexible shoes. These are made for you to do tricks, lifts, all the wonderful things in as well. And they're also great rehearsal shoes. But you'll see a lot of the guys wear it, but also when we're doing shows like Chicago and things like that, the jazz movements require a lot more pointing and flexibility.
I want to wear these shoes.
They are so comfortable. And they're also specifically designed to hold your foot firmly on the ground without sliding.
It's very tight with the arch.
Yes, the arch is completely open so that you can arch beautifully when you're doing your piece. And I mean, every single one of these, and then you've got your longer jazz boots, which also have, and they're higher heel, they create a beautiful arch in the leg. And those type of shoes are also especially designed for dancing. And you'll see a lot of the dancers that you'll see on stage are wearing these. And all of these are between 500 to 800 standard, and then they go up in price from there, depending on how fancy they look, like more sparkly or whatever. Then obviously all the dresses, which I spoke about, you're looking at about 2,500 rand a sparkly dress at least. These are mic cover slips.
Microphone cover. That is okay. Now I'm with you with the Taylor Swift stuff. Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
So I actually have about 20 of these or 30 of these, and they cost. I mean, we couldn't find any locally, so we had to make these, and they cost about 150 rand to make, just because of the rhinestones. Rhinestones people don't understand how expensive.
Anything glittery,
Rhinestones are expensive. So we had for the Taylor Swift show every single heiress, the mic cover slip would change to the color scheme of the show. So yes, that was really expensive. I think I spent about 40,000 rand in costumes for the Taylor Swift show alone, just that one. And then people are like, why is it 150 rand a ticket?
Yes.
Auntie. Then this is my pride and joy as well. This is a corset. This is a form-fitting corset. It actually helps create a silhouette on stage. And it also helps, it makes the whole body do this. And it just looks more pleasing to the eye on stage. And what a lot of people don't know, especially in theatre, is it's very much similar to drag, is we're creating a look or a character every time. So from underneath the clothing to these fishnets I'm wearing are also dance fishnets. They cost about 300 rand. So if I get a ladder in this in one show, I have to replace it. That's 2 tickets, Tani, just for these. All right. So this is how expensive it is to dress up a show. And I think a lot of people have a misconception that why is it, as soon as you start getting to 200 rand a ticket, people become a bit hectic about it. But at the same time, if I'm just covering the costs, I mean, this is just the costs.
But this is the whole thing. Like, you do a lot of burlesque show.
burlesque and glam.
Burlesque and so you need to, oh my
Tribute.
gosh, am I going to do this how many times?
So what you got to do,
There you
I'm
go.
going to teach you a trick. You stick it in this thing there, and then it hooks fast.
So, for instance, you got to have something glittery and all of that. And like you said, the sequence is very expensive. So obviously it costs a lot of money to have these
And then
made.
maintenance of them as well.
Yes,
Washing
now,
of it.
and now what's like this
That's
is now
hooked, yeah.
hooked and now it needs to be fixed.
Yes. So yeah, there's also maintenance that comes with it, and then obviously the washing of costumes afterwards. So the amount of
Because
washing
it's not just
powder I
easy,
go through.
but like it's also, it's a lot of stuff that people don't realize that goes into into
and then of
production.
course all the small things, the jewelry, the makeup. Every time you use a
Your
false
petrol
lash,
money.
petrol money
driving
to
up and
enforce
down.
rehearsals, the time spent practicing and rehearsing, and then on top of that, if you've got backstage crew, if you've got sound and lighting crew, if you've got a dresser backstage or somebody who's helping apply makeup, that all costs. And then still you've got to pay the performer afterwards. How do I still pay the performer afterwards? So that is what I try to do best. Is I've tried to invest as much as I can, but I've also tried to save as much as I can where I can. And like if I can give anybody advice, if you want to, you go to a movie for 180 rand and you still go buy popcorn and a juice.
Yeah.
Just rather come and support a local artist. You know, come and support a local production. They're working hard and you're actually boosting the economy because we will be buying from you. We will be coming to your restaurants. We will be supporting your businesses. But the problem is that people have a common misconception of how much it costs to put on a production. And the hours and the love and the care that we put in to make sure that you have the best possible show, and that is fun to look at and it's impressive. I mean, we had flames and smoke and all kinds of things in shows. I mean, all of that comes with money, and then health and safety sign-offs, and then even when I do the big connect, health and safety, it's public liability, it's ambulance on site. We do everything in our possible power to make sure everything is safe, fun, and you're still getting value for your money. So I really think it's important that people know the cost of these things and how important it is to not fight about 150 rand when you can go buy a movie ticket for less, more, sorry. So that's just one of my main things that I want to touch on is that obviously this costs lots of money and must
It costs a lot of money to look so cheap.
Yes, exactly. So much money. Glamorous, darling. I'm like a really terrible 80s disco ball right now.
Tussen Kussings.
I've never felt gayer.
I'm just saying.
So let's start off with just these jackets we're wearing, made by Leanne from World Lee.
World Lee Designs, local
Love.
PE lady.
I love,
Look
love,
at it. Look at it. And this one I commissioned her to make to match this dress. And then these I bought off of her. These were her show ones. So she let me buy them off a bit less costly because we used them in the Taylor Swift show. All our dancers had them on for the last number, and I just fell in love with them. She let us use them for the show without payment. She's just really amazing. She also supports local artists and everything, and I just love her, and I obviously supported her because I have 3 now. And then I bought Lizelle one as well for her birthday.
You only have 2 now.
Oh, right, she's leaving with it.
Excuse me.
Borrow this from, you can rent this.
You can.
Support local.
It's mine.
You can borrow this one from me.
We'll just keep them until you show.
See, I'm a nice guest. I bring you guys things to wear.
Right? This is lovely. Love it.
I'm sure you haven't had this many costume changes in your life.
No, we also have not had like a whole wardrobe explode on a set before. Which is
Will this work? Will this work? You could wear that. You could wear that. Yeah, you asked me to bring 2 outfits, and then I bought you outfits as well.
En
half my wardrobe.
Toe bring sy sommer alles, al die outfits. As jy enigiets gesoek het vanaand en jy het dit nie gekry nie, sê dit. Maar Tarryn, jy is, ek meen, daar's geen doubt, jy is een van die mees driven people in die baie, een van die mees talentvolle mense. Ek sê dit nie net omdat jy een van my beste vriendinne is nie, maar jy is so talentvol. elke show wat ek na toe gaan van jou, ek probeer altyd min as moontlik rehearsals bywoon want ek wil blown away wees, dan staan ek daar soos like 'n crazy persoon gaan, wow. En dit is regtig, dit is mind-blowing wat jy doen met 'n voltydslewe as 'n mamma van 2 ook nog. So regtig, well done. Ons is baie trots op jou.
Well, you're an actor. We know it's fake. It's okay. But you can cry.
Here's your swearing.
I want to thank my mother.
Maar daar is, soos ons het net geraak in 'n paar van die goedjies wat jy doen, maar in 'n vinnige opsomming, mense kan jou natuurlik bespreek vir 'n hele klomp goed. Soos wat?
So we do karaoke's, we do trivias, and all themes, like many themes. We do music bingos, we do murder mysteries, we do corporate and private entertainment, we do wedding entertainment, we do specialized acts, so if you're looking for somebody to walk on stilts, if you're looking for somebody to breathe fire, if you're looking for someone to throw the fire around or swing it around, or what's it, boy? That. If you're looking for aerial artists, pole dancers, silk artists, gymnasts, clowns, musicians, obviously, bands, jazz music, rock music, pop music. I think the main thing that I wanted to do is create a one-stop shop place where if you need entertainment or you want to do something other than just sit and, I don't know, eat food and have a drink at an event, that there's something that happens. We curate like a whole experience for you based on what you want. Theme-based, everything. I mean, we do it all. And the other wonderful thing is I love to create work for people as well. So I've got an agent for a lot of people. So if you're looking for someone that you may not know who works here or there, wherever, I can find that person for you if I don't already have them on my contact list, which I probably do. And we can make that event happen for you. So like, for instance, now we're going to do a Coyote Ugly event at one of the restaurants that have booked us. And we're just curating a whole experience from when you walk in to make it feel like in the Coyote Ugly movie. And that's kind of what we do. And they don't sometimes just know they have a theme and an idea, and then I just make it a reality.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, entertainment elevated.
Wel, met al dit gesê, ons is baie bly jy was op Tussen Kussings. En tada! Ek kan ook 'n magic trick doen.
Oh, thanks guys. I've got my own tussen. And look, I'm tussen julle twee ook.
Ja.
Met my kussen.
Tussen ons.
Is 'n kussen tussen julle.
I won't say it's a running joke, maar wat jy nou moet doen is jy moet nou vir ons 'n foto van jou tussen die kussing stuur.
Tussen die kussing stuur. Okay, reg. Ek het hom. I got it. Take a photo with it.
Tussen die kussing.
Okay, we'll do a snapshot all together.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Dankie dat jy hier was.
I appreciate the support, and you guys are doing amazing things as well, supporting local businesses, and it's been an honor to be featured.
And can we just thank Jock and Natasha as well for letting us take over 1933.
Yes.
And
come and support. I'll be here once a month at least, but there's also amazing other artists here, and there's amazing drinks here, so please come and support 1933.
And everything.
Yes, parties here, private parties. It fits 47 to 50 people in here, so it's nice for intimate events. So if you're looking for something different, over 21s, come by.
There we go. If you find any feathers, we're sorry.
It was probably me, and glitter, it's probably me too.
Ek dink ons het een manier hoe ons hierdie episode moet afsluit, en dit is basies like
Cut!
En ek smag daarna om nog sulke mense te leer ken, om saam te leer woorde tussen kussings en gedagtes, waar eerlikheid dieper sny en tog sagter geneem.